When Mia and I first got together, it felt like the universe had finally handed me a break. I'd just gotten out of a rough relationship, and she was like a breath of fresh air, warm, vibrant, and full of life. For 3 years, we built what I thought was a solid future together. We traveled, laughed, and even talked about marriage. I trusted her completely, maybe too much. But then came the night that changed everything. We were sitting on the couch, the TV playing some random rom-com neither of us were paying attention to. I noticed Mia staring at her phone, her fingers frozen over the screen. "Everything okay?" I asked casually. She hesitated, then sighed. "It's my ex. He texted me." I felt my stomach tighten. I'd heard about her ex before, Daniel. The guy who broke her heart years ago, the one she said she'd never take back. What did he want? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She put her phone down and turned to me. "He says he's changed. That he made a mistake letting me go." And honestly, she swallowed hard. "I think I want to give him another chance." For a moment, everything around me went silent. The TV, the traffic outside, even my own thoughts. All I could hear was my heartbeat, pounding in my ears. "You want to what?" I finally managed. "I don't know," she said quickly, almost defensively. "You're great, and I love what we have, but part of me still wonders what could have been with him. I can't ignore that." I looked at her, really looked at her. This was the woman I had given my trust, my loyalty, my plans for the future. And here she was, asking me to step aside so she could see if the man who once shattered her could maybe love her again. I could have begged. I could have fought for her. But instead, I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and poured myself a glass of water to keep my hands from shaking. When I came back, I gave her the calmest smile I could muster. "Follow your heart, Mia," I said quietly. "But don't come back." Mia's face went pale, as if she hadn't expected me to call her bluff. For a few seconds, she just sat there frozen. Then she tried to reach for my hand. "Wait, are you saying we're done?" I nodded slowly. "If you even have to ask yourself whether you want to be with me, then we're already done." She started to cry, insisting she just needed clarity, that she didn't want to lose me. But I'd already made my decision. Love isn't something you put on hold while you test the waters. I opened the front door and stood there waiting. Eventually, she picked up her bag, wiped her face, and left without another word. The moment the door clicked shut, the weight of it hit me. The house felt unbearably quiet, almost hostile. I sat down on the couch, staring at the spot where she'd been sitting minutes ago, wondering if I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. The first few weeks were hell. Everywhere I turned, there were reminders of her. The mug she always used for coffee, her sweater draped over the chair, the playlists we made together. I'd wake up at night half expecting her to be there. But she wasn't. And then came the social media posts. Photos of Mia and Daniel at concerts, smiling like they hadn't a care in the world. Friends sent me screenshots, but I stopped looking after the second one. I didn't need to see her finding herself with the man she swore she was over. Instead, I threw myself into rebuilding my life. I hit the gym every morning, worked late into the night, and focused on my own goals. Slowly, the ache in my chest began to dull. My confidence returned. People started noticing, colleagues, friends, even strangers. 6 months later, I got promoted at work. My boss handed me the keys to a new corner office, and that night, I celebrated with friends at a rooftop bar downtown. For the first time in months, I laughed without forcing it. That's when I saw her. Mia stood across the bar, alone this time, clutching a drink and staring straight at me. Our eyes locked, and for a moment, the entire bar seemed to go quiet. She hesitated, then walked toward me, her expression a mix of regret and desperation. "Ethan," she said softly when she reached me. "You look good." "Thanks," I replied coolly, keeping my tone neutral. She glanced around nervously. "Can we talk?" I gestured toward an empty table, and we sat down. For a moment, she just stared at her drink, fumbling for words. Finally, she said it. "I made a mistake." I raised an eyebrow. "With Daniel?" Her shoulders slumped. "It didn't work out. He's the same person he's always been. Selfish. Unreliable. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought maybe, Maybe we could try again. I looked at her carefully, searching her face for sincerity. She looked smaller somehow, deflated. But the pain she had caused me came rushing back. The nights I spent alone, the photos I tried not to see, the quiet I had to learn to live with. Mia, I said finally, when you left, I had to rebuild myself from the ground up. Do you know how hard it was to choose myself for once? To put my own worth above begging someone to stay. Tears welled up in her eyes. I know, and I'm so sorry. I held up a hand to stop her. I meant it when I said don't come back. I can't go back to being the man who waited for you to decide if I was good enough. She nodded, her lips trembling, then stood up. For a moment, I thought she might fight for me, but she didn't. She just whispered, I hope you're happy, and walked away. As I watched her leave, I felt something unexpected, peace. It wasn't anger anymore, or sadness. Just the quiet relief of knowing I had finally closed that chapter for good. When I turned back to my friends, one of them asked if I was okay. I smiled for real this time, and raised my glass. Yeah, I said. I'm better than okay. I'm free.